Alright, Shalom. This is the brother Mayam coming at you from GMS Tampa Bay. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchak Wadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone. And much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and sincerity. Alright, so I want to do a lesson here, more or less of a quick video. Here on this article here on RT News, all right, entitled "U.S. accuses China for preparing for World War III, what you're not being told." And this is a pretty good article. You know, I read pretty much read the whole thing. I'm not gonna read the whole thing on this lesson. Lord willing, I remember to put the link in the description box. But like I said, it's a pretty good article. All right, going into the hypocrisy of America and really what's about to come, because it's saying U.S. accuses China for preparing for World War III, and basically the article goes into all the things that America is doing to force China to be preparing for war. All right, and really all these other nations are preparing for war as well. It's not just China. You got Russia, which they make mention of here in the article, but Salakia. They make mention of Russia here in the article, but the topic of this article, of course, is China. So, they go into the hypocrisy of America and the things that have been said about China and what America is doing. All right, and first and foremost, I'm gonna go through a couple points here. So the first point that I want to get to is the first thing that popped into mind. So let me see if I can find the paragraph. All right. So let me. All right. Well, let me read up here. I'm gonna come back to that paragraph, but let me get Salakia, bear with me here. All right, let me start here. It says China getting the message loud and clear. All right, and I'm gonna get a few precepts as well. But it says, I don't mean to be base, but perhaps the problem in the China-U.S. relationship is that the message is getting across loud and clear. It says the U.S. has pushed the expansion of NATO up to and around Russia's borders. It has invaded and bombed Iraq, Syria, miraculously occupying 1/3 of Syrian territory, including its most oil-rich region, Libya, Yemen, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Somalia, and even the Philippines. So you can see how America is in everybody's is in everybody's country, trying to surround his enemies. All right, mainly Russia here. All right, but then it says here, on top of it, this superpower has also threatened war with Iran, North Korea, and Venezuela, all of whom share a cozy relationship with China, and as well, those nations as well share a relationship with Russia. I believe China is a part of the BRICS nation. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe that's Korea. But yeah, I know Korea is part of it. But nonetheless, Iran, Slovakia, North Korea, and Venezuela, all right, they're all allies of Russia as well. All right, and as you can see, we're coming into this time. All right, and let me get a quick precept. No, I don't want to upgrade. All right, because this is how we know that we're living in the end days. All right, America's in all these other countries. All right, and America's trying to get up in Iran, North Korea, Venezuela. Mainly the key points being Iran and Venezuela, because America is trying to place itself in a lucrative position so that when this war does go off, when World War III does happen, which it will, all right, and it's prophesied in the scriptures, all right, that um that they have an advantage over their enemies, all right. And this is real quick, Matthew chapter 24 verse 6, and it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And that's what we have happening right now, all right. We have all these rumors of wars happening across the world. Rumors of war with Venezuela, America trying to get up in there. Rumors of wars with North Korea. Here it is. We're reading an article about China. All right. Just bear with me. All right. But ultimately, this is the war that we're getting into. Right. This is a Revelation 11, and I'll just start at the point at verse 14. It says, the second woe is past. Well, let me get chapter 9. All right. Let me see. I think it's like 12. Yeah, okay. 12. All right. And it says, this is Revelation chapter 9 and verse 12. And it says, one woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. So right now, it says one woe is past, which is World War I. All right. When you read this this here at the top, all right, when it goes into the, let me see, where is it, the locust, all right, and the scorpion, all right, that's talking about going into those planes, all right, those planes that were used during World War I. All right, I'm not gonna go into that breakdown, but this is this basically the beginning part of Revelation 9 is talking about World War I. So when you get to verse 12, it says, one woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. So we got two more world wars that would come after the first one. And now when we read 12 or Revelation 11, going down to 14, it says, the second woe is past, so World War II passed, and behold, the third cometh quickly. And we're coming up into that time of the third woe. All right, we're here. We're in those days where America is gonna get destroyed off the face of the earth. All right, and it's clear and evident why. Because America is messing with everybody. He thinks that he can just continue to bully and just get away with everything. All right. Now let me go back down to this paragraph that I stated earlier. All right, here it goes. It says, even if, all right, this paragraph here says, even if Washington and its allies' fear of China were justified, it pays to remind that officially China has one overseas military base, which is located in Djibouti in the Horn of Africa. And Salakia, if I mispronounce that, that's the best that I can do. It says the corporate media is now even catching on to the fact that when it comes to Africa, the U.S. has its troops scattered across the entire continent. In total, the U.S. has about 800 bases located, and it's probably more than that. Right? I'm almost certain that it's more than that. More than just 800. It says about. I'm pretty sure that it has, the U.S. military has more than 800 bases. All right, which is absurd. It is ridiculous how many military bases America has throughout this world. It says located all over the planet, and it shows no signs of downsizing its military or its nuclear supply. And matter of fact, America is trying to what's it called? trying to grow their military bases, man. They're trying to set up shop in Venezuela. All right, they're trying to get, they're trying to get up in all these other countries. All right, to have, like I stated earlier, that strategic position when it comes to World War III. All right, this is real quick. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. And his soul which is lifted up," meaning he's proud, because Esau, Edom, all right, the so-called white man, he's really proud, man. And he's, like it says, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, and he's proud of his wickedness. Okay, Esau, Edom is proud of the wickedness that he commits around the whole earth. All right, but what? These other nations are getting sick and tired of Esau, man, and we're gonna get into that. And these other nations are preparing themselves. All right, they're preparing themselves. All right, real quick, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. It says, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man." So there you go. "Neither keepeth at home." All right. And then the article, going off of what the article said, it said about 800 military bases throughout the whole planet Earth. You can't tell me that this isn't talking about the so-called white man. It says, "Neither keep it." You want to know another reason why we call you the devil? Why we call you Edomites the devil? Look what you're doing in the whole earth, man. You have all your military bases in everybody else's backyard, man. You're in everybody's business. You do what the hell you want, and if nobody else wants to do what you want, you go up in there, man. And matter of fact, that's in the article. We're gonna get that real quick after this. It says, "Neither keepeth at home who enlarges his desire as hell." All right, because what? He goes into these other nations. He takes their resources, which is the main reason why he goes into these nations. And as of recent, Esau is trying to get up in these countries such as Venezuela, for example, for he can get the oil, man. So he can get oil. So when this war pops off, when World War III pops off, all right, he has enough oil to try to power his military machine, man. As the brother Ariella well put it. All right, the elder Ariella. All right, it says, "Who enlarges his desires hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied." And he is this death. All right, because why? He was given that power to take peace from the earth, man. All right, he's that red horse, man. And it says, "And is as death and cannot be satisfied." Right, that's why he keeps continuing to try to get up in everybody's in every country, man. Because he goes into somebody's country, he gets what he wants from there, and then he's like, "All right, now what? You know what? Let me go next door and see what they got." All right, and it says, "And heapeth unto him all people." All right. Slovakia. Let's see if there's. Alright, let me just get back to the article real quick because there's a point I want to get. Let me see. Alright, so we read up here where it says, "I don't mean to be base." All right, so now I want to get this quick paragraph here. Where was it? I just seen it. All right, right here at the top it says, "Come on, the message It says, "Come on, the message is getting across. If you are a lesser nation without a nuclear supply or the backing of a major nuclear power, you will find a U.S. military right on your doorstep." And we just read it. All right, you need to keep it at home, and enlarge his desire as hell, man. It says, if you are more of a handful and require a less upfront approach, you will find the U.S. military right next door, peering in the window, all the while American sanctions wreak havoc on your economy. And that's what America has done, man. That's what he's done to all these countries. All right. Look what he's doing with Syria. Look what he's doing with Iran. All right. The so-called white man has been doing this for years. And you people, you silly Americans wanna wonder and ask why we call the white man the devil, the so-called white man the devil. Well, look what he's doing in the world, man. And you want to ask why we call this man the devil? You people are bugged out, man. Let me get a precept. That's where I was looking. I don't know why I was in Habakkuk, but all right. This is Joel. Chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." And that's what's happening. All right. That's what's happening with these lesser nations. All right. We just read here, says, "Come on, the message is getting across. If you are a lesser nation without a nuclear supply or the backing of a major nuclear power, you will find the U.S. military right on your doorstep." All right. So this message is getting across real clear. So what's happening? These other weaker nations are beating their plowshares into swords and their pruning hooks into spears. And they're saying what? Let the weak say, I am strong. And these other nations are gearing up. These other weaker nations that we once thought were nothing are preparing themselves, such as North Korea. All right, now they have nuclear weapons over there. All right, Iran, they've had nuclear weapons, but now they're increasing their nuclear weapons. All right, India, Turkey. All right, all these weaker nations, so to speak, are becoming stronger and stronger. All right, they're making ties with the right people. Shalakia. All right, it says, "Assemble yourselves," verse 11. "Assemble yourselves and come all ye hither and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord." It says, "Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about." And that's what the Lord is doing, all right, over there in the Middle East. The Lord is preparing all these rumors of wars. He's having all these little skirmishes happen around the world with China, with Russia, and their allies. All right, we read it here. Where was it? Right here. All right, it says, "The U.S. has pushed the expansion of NATO up to and around Russia's borders. It has invaded and bombed Iraq, Syria." Now, keep in mind, this is the Valley of Jehoshaphat. All right. Yahweh Shaphat, the Lord's judgment. It's over there in the Fertile Crescent. All right. It says, "Miraculously occupying 1/3 of Syrian territory, including its most oil-rich region." Again, America's placing itself strategically to have that oil readily available, so that when time comes, they have the fuel to fuel their machines, man, their tanks, their planes, everything. It says Libya, Yemen, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Somalia, and even the Philippines. Then you got down here, it says, on top of it, this superpower has also threatened war with Iran, North Korea, and Venezuela. All right, so let's read that scripture again. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come all ye hither and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat," which is Yahweh Shaphat in the Hebrew, meaning the Lord's judgment. All right, Yahweh being the Lord's name, Shaphat meaning judgment. All right, says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. All right. And that, guess what? We're in that time, man. And look, verse 13, it says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for the wickedness is great. That's why when we read in Revelation 18, I believe, it says the exact same thing. Its wickedness is great. Let me see, I think it's verse 4. Or verse 5, select. Revelation 18, verse 5 says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities, meaning America's iniquities, man. And really all the wickedness of the entire planet Earth is being fulfilled, which is why World War III is getting ready to happen. That's why the Lord is gathering all the nations, all the heathens, into that valley of Jehoshaphat out there in the Middle East. That's why the Lord is stirring things up. That's why the Lord put Donald Trump into office, all right, to take away certain treaties that nations have, to take away certain pacts that America had with other nations, all right, to take them away and to start pissing these other nations off. Why? To stir these nations up, stir the heathen up, wake them up, for they can beat their plowshares into pruning hook, or beat their plowshares into swords and their pruning hooks into arrows, or however, roughly paraphrasing. All right, basically preparing for battle, which is what these other nations are doing. So when you make an article called U.S. accuses China for preparing for World War III, they're not wrong. But guess what? America's doing the same thing. They're preparing for World War III. So is the entire world, man. Well, the people who can afford to. These other nations are all preparing for battle, man. The Lord is moving. The Lord is moving amongst these other nations. The Spirit of the Lord is moving on these other nations to get ready for war, because it's coming. All right. That World War III is coming. All right. So let me get into Revelation chapter 17. And let me start at verse 16. Just getting straight to the point. All right, this is Revelation chapter 17, and this chapter goes into the whore and the beast that it rideth upon. All right, the beast having 10 heads, and or Salakia, 7 heads and 10 horns. All right, the 10 heads being 10 kingdoms, or Salakia, 7 heads. All right, being 7 kingdoms. And the 10 horns being 10 governments, 10 kings, all right, as it states in the scriptures here. All right, so, but let me get into it. Verse 16, it says, the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Well, let me get verse 12. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. All right, the beast representing the Roman Empire system, the Roman system. All right, being pushed by America, and really all the elites. All right, because again, Esau Edom is running this Roman system. All right, so now these 10 horns that we're reading about in verse 12 are the EU NATO nations. Says the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. That's right. And it says which receive no kingdom as yet, because these nations don't have a kingdom that's ruling the world. All right, such as America. America is running this entire planet. That's a kingdom. This Roman system is a kingdom. All right, but receive power as kings with 1 hour with the beast. All right, and these nations, they have somewhat of power, but it says with the beast, so they have to be aligned. And look, verse 13 says it, these have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. All right, so now we know it's talking about EU and NATO. It's talking about the 10 kings, man. All right, verse 16, the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Who's the whore? America. And it says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And that's what's getting ready to come here in World War III, man. Which is what China is preparing for, what America is preparing for, what Russia is preparing for, what North Korea, Iran, Syria, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, what all these nations are gearing towards. All right, what they're getting ready for is World War III. And it says, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate, meaning they're going to make her plain. Nothing's going to be here in America any longer, man. It says, and naked and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High had put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And guess what? We read in Joel chapter 3 how the Lord is gathering them up. So it said here, for the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will. Because the way of man is not of his own, but the Most High who directeth it. Directeth it. Alright? So this is what's happening around the world. This is the times that we're living in, man. All right, we're living in the time of the end. World War III is amongst us. We're in World War III. We're just in the preliminary stages of it. All right, we're in the preliminary stages of it. Okay, but with that, Lord willing, you brothers are edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rachak Wadash. Lord willing, I wasn't too all over the place with this video. But let me go ahead and close out. Well, let me give all the praise and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to the Yuakim out there who are diligently pushing out this truth and sincerity. Shalom.